Hey guys, I wanted to do a video about taking some pistols apart. Most common pistols, I guess, are some of the most common pistols out there. The Glock or the Smith & Wesson Model 9F, that's what this is. It's called the lawsuit gun. It's actually an identical knockoff of a Glock. It has the same function in inner parts as a Glock does. You can actually change parts around from each gun. That's why they were sued over it, but it's a little bit cheaper than a Glock, I guess. I got that gun pretty good deal on it. But anyway, 1911 45. 45 ACP is becoming more and more popular with people to carry. They come in all different models, different manufacturers. This is a single stack magazine. It's unloaded. There's nothing in it. Always make sure this gun, any of your guns, is unloaded before cleaning them or taking them apart or handling them outside the holster, because anytime this gun is in your hand, it's either got to be cleaned, maintained, or it's meant to shoot. This gun is not to get out. No weapon, not just this gun, any weapon you have is not to just pull out and flash around and let people look at it and stuff like that. No, do not do that. Do not bring that weapon out flashing it around. Somebody will get killed, injured very seriously, or killed. That gun is meant for one thing and one thing only, and that's to shoot bullets. And we know what bullets can do. They can kill people, they can kill animals, they can destroy property. This gun a gun, period, is a very dangerous thing. Very dangerous, and they deserve a lot of respect, demand respect. I always make sure that gun is unloaded. Check it again after you unload it. When you charge that thing, bring it back and look again. I mean, do it as many times as you have to. Make sure that gun is unloaded. I've had accidental discharges, and it's a very scary thing. Thank God nobody got hurt or nobody was around when it happened. Police officers have them a lot, more than they let you know. Military has them. I've seen it happen when I was in the military, but it's something that can happen if you don't pay attention. You've got to respect that weapon. Always, always, always think of that gun as loaded. Never put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to release the hammer down or shoot it. If you're going to release that hammer down, you better make sure there ain't a bullet in the chamber. And I've seen that happen. It happened in my house. The man had the gun. It was cocked. He was going to let the same gun. He was going to let the hammer down. He pulled the trigger, and of course, there's not much travel on that trigger, and you think it's not pulling. And the only way that this hammer will go off is by pushing the palm safety down. You have to do that. And when you pull that trigger, you feel no resistance on it. He pulled the trigger and went like that. The gun went off. Actually shot my TV. It did. But we didn't make sure the gun was unloaded. You know, thank God nobody got hurt. That was my fault completely by letting him have one of my weapons that I didn't know was loaded. That's another thing I don't like doing, is handing weapons around to people. I don't like other people holding my gun. It's not good. But anyways, unless you're looking to buy it or something like that. But me personally, very few people I'll reach a gun to, and if I do, it's unloaded from now. I guarantee you that gun is unloaded if I reach it to you. But anyways, getting back to what I was saying. The safeties on this gun keeps it from firing on its own. There's no way this gun is going to go off by itself unless you put your finger on the trigger. To take this gun apart and clean it and maintain it, it's a little bit more difficult than some, but it's not difficult, folks. It's just things got to go in order. It's got to go in the order that it's meant to. If one thing is out of place or out of order, this gun will not function. And I want to explain some of that to you and show you how to take this gun apart. First thing you do, make sure that gun is unloaded. You take it, there's a tool that you can get with, and this is a Ruger tool. And that's for pushing this spring retainer down and turning the barrel bushing. Now, a lot of folks like it. I don't, but my fingers are hurting. I'm going to use it today. You put this on here, turn it, and if you ain't got your hand over that spring, it's going to shoot out there and you're going to lose it. You put this on there and press down on it and turn this thing clockwise. Keep your hand over the top of that spring. There it come out right like that. There's the spring retainer and the spring has just come out. The barrel bushing has to be turned again, and you turn it counterclockwise all the way till it stops, and it'll come out. And there's a notch on it. You'll see it. I think you can see it right there, that notch. And there's a groove that goes around that barrel, and that's what locks it in place. Now, your safety has to be off. It can be cocked or not, so I like to uncock it. It makes it a little bit easier to do because you got to slide this back to this half moon. See that little half moon right there? You got your lock and then your half moon. You slide this back right over there, and then your lock comes out. It pulls out. You push it from the other side, it pops right out. The slide's ready to come off. Turn this gun upside down, pull it apart. Now you got another piece in here. This is spring retainer. Goes right on the end of it. That's what guides it, spring guide, or whatever you want to call it. I forget the exact name of it. But it rests on top of your barrel. That little half moon right there rests on top of your barrel, and that keeps your spring guided and straight. Your barrel, most guns will pick up and pull out from the back. This thing, it's got a loop right here. Push that forward and take that barrel and slide it right out. That's all there is to it. There's what, 8 pieces to this gun, 7 pieces, 8 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. Take your gun and wipe it down, clean it, whatever maintenance you got to do to it, and it goes right back the same way. My guns are always clean, they're always oiled. I got them a little rust just by sitting there. Putting it back together is going back the opposite way. Just doing everything in order. Barrel goes in, your little loop comes up, retaining spring, keeper, slide, whatever you want to call it. Now on this barrel, before I go any further, I'm going to show you, because a lot of people make the mistake and push this thing all the way back against this, and that's not the way it goes. This barrel, see how it's made? This is made right on that. It comes back and stops right there. That's what that's for. And you got to make sure that that's on there. If this doesn't slide, the barrel's what slides on top of it. It does this. And it's always good to oil it. To put it back together, put your loop up. Don't let it go all the way to the back when you put it in there. You'll have a hard time putting it in there. We may have that problem here in a minute. Barrel slide, the front spring slide goes up on it. No, that don't even move. Yeah, I think it. No, it don't move. The barrel moves. That's right. Because the whole slide moves with it. Make sure it's in place. You can put your spring on top of it. Make sure that's on. Make sure your loop's up. Right like that. Don't let that thing go to the back. You'll have to pull it back apart again. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you can shake it. Your frame goes right into the groove. Slides right up on it. Push it in. Turn it over. And push it backwards to where that half moon is right over that hole. Right like that. See that? There's that little half moon right there. Now your lock, that's it. Press it in right here. It goes through that loop. And I don't think it's in place. Yep, it was in place. We're lucky. Bring it up when you put it in. You'll have to come in from the bottom, push it, and then just move your slide till it pops in place. Slide that forward, put your safety on. Now that's in place. A lot of people will put this in first. It don't matter if this goes in first or the spring does. You can put it in with the spring in it. Put it in, turn it clockwise. And then this is the hardest part about this, is putting that on. Because if you let go of this, it's going to shoot. I mean, it will come out there and pop, and if you ain't in a room or something, it's gone. Bring it down, push it down, and push this around till it locks. There's a little groove in top of it. Matter of fact, I'll take this off and show it to you. See that little groove? And you can see where I've taken it apart so much. It's made that place on there. That's what that lock's on. That way you can take your finger off. Don't let go of that thing. Push it around and lock it right like that. It's locked in place. Take your finger, hold it down, or you can take this tool, either one you want. Turn around till it pops in place. Rack it a few times. Let your hammer down if you want to. I'll do it like that for right now. That's all there is to that gun. Maintenance, cleaning them, that's crucial to a weapon. If you do not keep that gun maintained and clean, it will fail at some point. It will fail to do whatever at some point. I like this gun also because of the way the trigger's made. Nothing can get in behind that trigger. Keys, coins, anything can get in behind the trigger will get behind the trigger eventually if you don't keep that thing secured in a holster or in a pocket that's not got anything in it. This gun is unloaded. See how the trigger's made? Anything can get in behind that. This gun is always cocked. I carry that with the hammer back. This one's always cocked. It's ready to fire no matter what. It has been known to go off before. Believe it or not, a Glock has been known to go off before. It's got one safety beside your finger, one mechanical safety, and that's this trigger. It's a two-piece trigger. Right there it is. You can push on the top of this thing all day long and it won't fire. Right there it is. That's the only safety you got. Down here, that gun will fire. To take this gun apart, it has to be charged. There's this, it's on both sides. That's the lock. You have to physically put your hand over this barrel, push it back, and take your thumb and your forefinger and push down on this, and believe it or not, pull the trigger. Now, you can look at statistics of people being accidentally shot. That's the reason why. This gun, I do not like this gun for that purpose. The way it's took apart, I don't like it. It's dangerous. You make sure this gun is unloaded before you even think about taking this gun apart. If you don't, you will shoot your hand. There's an incident just not long ago, somebody getting their hand shot. Now you've seen the difference between this gun taking it apart and this gun. This gun right here, you got to put in your hand, push back on it, like that. Take your thumb and forefinger, push down on that, pull the trigger, and it comes apart. Oh boy. Now that's a design flaw if you ask me. That's one reason I don't like the aspects of that gun, or one of the aspects I don't like of that gun. Very simple gun. It's nothing to take apart once you've mastered that right there. I'll show you how this comes apart. I just did it, just not thinking. Here's the spring. It's on a guide itself. It's one piece. Just take it, pop it out. That's it. Remember how the barrel came out on this one? I had to bring that through the front. This one just pop it up, pull it out. That's all there is to it. 4 parts to this gun, 8 to this. Cleaning it, very simple. You can oil it with an oil rag. This gun don't need clean, but it's a very simple gun to clean. Barrel bushing is the frame. And you can see some wear on the barrel. This is the barrel bushing. And once it wears out, you got to replace it. Rather than you just replace the bushing. Wipe it down, oil it, clean it, whatever you need to do. Same thing with your polymer frame, all the metal parts, connecting parts. You just put you a little bit of oil on a rag, wipe it down, clean it up, get all the grit and stuff out of it. Your barrel, you'll take your bore brush, clean your barrel out, run your oil rag through it, and wipe it down. Make sure there ain't no grit and grime on it. That's all there is to this gun. Putting it together, slide, barrel, put it in there, bring it back. The spring can only go in one way. This part right here fits in this hole right here. Put it in that hole and push it down till it rests on this flat spot. It will rest on this bottom flat spot, right like that. See that little notch? It'll be right like that. That's it. You put that in. Spring goes in. Put your spring down, just push it forward. Putting it back together is simple as it can be. Line it up into the grooves. That's all there is to it. That gun's ready to fire. That gun is always cocked. If you slide that, you can take this gun and just do this with it. You don't even have to cock it that far. You can go back that far right there. It's cocked. But anyways, that's the differences in them guns. This takes a little bit longer. I love this gun. I really do. I wish I had a double stacker, carried more around. I carry more clips with it. I carry it a lot, but it's a heavy gun. This is real light. It's probably half the weight of this gun. Carries more ammunition. I've got two 17-round clips and a 10-round clip. That's 40. Well, carry about 45 rounds with me when I carry this gun. I carry 36 with this one. But guarantee you, if I hit you once with this, I won't have to shoot you 3 times with this one. Folks, respect these guns. Always assume that they're loaded. Always assume that it's going to fire. Never put your finger on that trigger unless you're ready to either take it apart or shoot it. If your finger's on that trigger, you be prepared for a hammer to come down. That's the whole point of a trigger. Never put your finger on that trigger until you're ready to fire. Gun safety, gun safety, gun safety, gun safety, gun safety, gun safety. Can't say it enough. Can't emphasize it enough. Can't preach it enough. Gun safety. Gun safety. Respect these guns. Respect every one of them. And always treat them as they're loaded. Folks, don't think they're not when you can kill somebody. Anyway, that's it. See y'all.